Once upon a time, there lived a man named Eze. Eze came from a village named Adazi. He was a married man with three children, and his wife's name was Adaeze. Eze was a very poor and wretched man. He was very poor to the extent of feeding his family was a problem to him. He worked as a bricklayer in a site where they built house. He supplied blocks to the workers. Eze had been doing this job for years, but it was as if he was not working. He hardly fed his family. The money they paid him was not enough to take care of his family. Eze was frustrated that he don't know what to do. He had a brother named Ezego who had excess money but refused to help any family members. Eze have asked him for help for several times, but he only gave him 10,000 naira anytime he visited him. While his brother helped outsiders, he even opened businesses for outsiders, buy cars and build houses for people, but refused to help his brother Eze. This baffled Eze, the way his own brother refused to help him. One day, Eze told his wife Adaeze that he would like to stop his job and look for another thing to do. But Adaeze asked him what he intends to do, since there was no money to start a business. Adaeze sells vegetable in a local market close to their house. She buys on credit and gives back money to the person that gave her goods and use the profits to buy food for the family. So Adaeze advised her husband not to stop her bricklaying job. If not, they would suffer more. But Eze insisted that he would leave the job, maybe join the people in the market to hustle. But his wife Adaeze questioned him. My husband, you said that you would join people in the market and hustle. How? But you don't have money to start a business. Eze explained to his wife that there was what they called also ahia. It means you bring customers to people that has shop. They would add money in whatever the customer wants to buy. And once the customer buys the goods, they will give you the money they added for the customer as your gain. And Adaeze asked her husband, you think that is better than the bricklaying job that you are doing? And Eze said yes. He said that one of his friends introduced him to the business and that he would like to join him. Adaeze accepted and prayed for her husband. The next day, Eze prepared and went to the market. When he got into the market, he called his friends that introduced him to the business and they started hustling for the day. That day, Eze hustled and got 10,000 naira for the day. He was so happy and excited. He greeted his friend and left. He went straight to his wife in the market and showed her the money. He gave her 8,000 naira to use and buy food stock for the family. And Eze left. Adaeze was so happy for the husband and thanked God for the new job and also prayed that it will continue to be like this. The next day, Eze prepared for market. That day, he didn't call his friend. Throughout that day in the market, he didn't do any business and he was so sad. He got home looking so sad and disappointed. And his wife Adaeze asked him what happened. And he said that he didn't achieve anything in the market. Adaeze consoled her husband and gave him food to eat. That night, Eze couldn't sleep. He kept turning on the bed. He was so sad. And when he woke up the next day, he took his bed and ate his food and went to his normal hustle in the market. That morning, he met his friend that introduced him to the business and explained to him what happened yesterday. And his friend encouraged him and told him that that was how the business is. After encouraging him, they went back to hustle with their normal daily routine. Eze tried that day to get a single customer, but he couldn't and got frustrated. When he came back home, He told his wife how he didn't achieve anything that day again. Adaeze consoled him again and advised him to go back to his former job. But Eze told her that he wants to try more. Then if it's not working, then he would go back to his former job. Eze thought on how to go back to the place that he has already resigned from. He prayed that night to get something from the market so that he wouldn't go back to his former place of work. But throughout that week, he didn't get anything in the market. He told his friend that introduced him to the business that he wants to quit the business and go back to his former place of work. His friend advised him to continue, but Eze had made up his mind to leave. That weekend, he went to meet his oga at the site to plead with him to accept him back. The oga accepted and asked him to start up the job again. The next Monday, Eze prepared and went back to his former work and started hustling again. In his former place of work, he was paid 2,000 every day. That was the reason why he quit the job before. But now, he couldn't even see the 2,000 daily. So he decided to be managing till God remembered him. At least to be giving his children and wife food. One day, Eze came back from his work and was going through one of his social media accounts, and he came across an old friend named Ebuka, who he went to school together with, living a very luxurious lifestyle. Eze immediately messaged him, and he was surprised that he responded almost immediately. They began talking, and he explained his ordeal to him. He begged him to introduce him to the business that he was doing so he can also live his kind of lifestyle. His friend agreed but suggested that they need to meet in person. They arranged for a date and time to meet. That day, Eze went to meet his friend Ebuka. Ebuka told him that this lifestyle that he's enjoying comes with a price, that he's doing a very dark and dangerous business that he can never imagine. But Eze told him that he's willing to do anything for his wife and children. And his friend Ebuka went further to explain to him that his business involves money ritual and it comes with a price. And how he now asked his friend Eze, "Are you willing to pay any price for that?" And Eze said yes. So they arranged again for a date to go and meet the ritualist. The date came and his friend Ebuka took him there. He stayed outside while Eze went inside to meet the ritualist. The ritualist told him to take off everything he had on, including his clothes and shoes. Then Eze told the ritualist that he wants to be just like his friend Ebuka, very rich and influential. The ritualist told him that it comes with price and there is no going back. He said yes, that he would do anything. The ritualist told him to sacrifice a loved one. Eze said no and said, "These are the people I am doing this for." He asked the man if there is another alternative. The ritualist said yes, but it depends on how long it has to live, because he will take half of the number of the years he has. He also has to sacrifice innocent lives. Eze said yes, that he would do that instead. After some incantation, the ritualist told him that rituals would work because someone very close to him has already used him for rituals to make money. Eze was shocked. He checked. Apart from his brother that has money, there is no person again that has money in their family. He asked himself, who could that be? He asked the ritualist, and the ritualist told Eze he has to offer something in exchange for that answer. Eze said he's willing to do anything for him to know who used him. The ritualist gave him white pieces of clothes and asked him to go and sleep with 10 different women and use a cloth to clean them after they had intercourse, and then return. And also he must make sure none of these women becomes pregnant for him, and he can't fall in love with any of them. He accepted and began his mission. After completing his task on 10 different women, he went back to his ritualist. But one of the women he used was rejected. That is because she's being used by another person. He went back and replaced that one and came back again. And the ritualist rejected it again, this time for another reason. One of the ladies he slept with was pregnant by him. He was asked to go and find the lady and terminate the pregnancy. So he contacted all the ladies, and one of them admitted to being pregnant. He lied to her that he loved her. They became close. Following the instruction, the pregnancy was terminated. He went back to the ritualist place, and this time it was successful. He was ready to find out who used him. Guys, it's getting hotter. You would be shocked to find out who used Eze. You can't afford to miss the end of this amazing story. Please guys, subscribe to my channel. I'm fully back with amazing and interesting stories. Please, let's continue. The ritualist did some enchanting. Look at him and shook his head. He asked him, "Are you sure that you want to do this? You really want to know who did this to you?" Eze nodded. The ritualist now said to him, "It is your wife, Adaeze." Eze started laughing and said to the ritualist, "It can't be possible because my wife is very poor, even poorer than I am. So, how can that be true?" The ritualist told him that his wife is living a fake life, and he continued to say, "She's a very rich woman. He has a lot of businesses and houses and other affluences all over the country. She went to the most powerful ritualist, so it is going to be a very tough fight." Eze said to the ritualist that he's prepared for anything. He told the ritualist that now he wants to use the wife for his own money ritual. The man began his incantation, but it says denied. That is because his wife already sacrificed half of her life in exchange for something. Eze asked the ritualist if there is anything else he can do to his wife, and the ritualist said, "Anything you wish, I will grant it to you." He then told him to make his wife to run mad. Since she has the mind to do this to him, let her feel the pain of being betrayed by a loved one. The ritualist granted the wish. And now for Eze to become rich, he has to continue sleeping with innocent girls and be bringing him their monthly period in exchange for wealth he desires. And none of these girls should fall pregnant. But if any of them fall sick, he will be sick as well because he borrowed their lives. Eze accepted the conditions. He abandoned his now mentally unstable wife and his children and moved to a different town and became one of the richest men in the city after carrying out the rituals. Meanwhile, his children, parents, siblings, and other relatives are still suffering in poverty because he can't use the money he got from rituals on any of his family members. After a while, he can't continue living like that. After all, he made this decision only because of his family. But now, he can't even help them, not even his children. Now he knows the reason why his wife and brother couldn't help any of them, even after using him for money rituals. He, he wants to back out, but there are consequences. He went back to his friend and told him his plan, and his friend took him to another juju man who would help him. The juju man told him that he has gone too far in this game and basically have less life to live, like 10 years. For him to help out, he would take half of that remaining life, his gods, and he will be left with just 5 years. But he wants those lost life back. He will continue sleeping and sacrificing innocent women for the rest of his life. Eze said no, that he's tired of living such life. The juju man told him that if he is back out now, that his wealth will disappear overnight and his situation will become worse than that what it was. Now Eze was stuck in this dilemma and started asking people for advice. Guys, this is the end of this wonderful story of mine. What do you learn from this amazing story of mine? If you were Eze, what will you do? Will you back out after coming this far? Or go back to zero level again and lose your life in the next 5 years? Or will you continue to sleep and sacrifice innocent soul for the rest of your life? Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please, my lovely subscribers, kindly subscribe to my channel at African Tales by Ifenkili. Like and share with family and friends. Turn on your notification button and stay tuned for more interesting and mind-blowing stories coming your way next time. Guys, remain blessed. Bye.